did one of those overnight hair curling techniques, and it's great down here, but oh my gosh, what is going on up here? Hi everyone, it's Tasha and welcome to another recipe video. And today we are making pumpkin pie crumb cake for the second time on this channel. But you won't find the first time because I have privated it. And the reason why I set it to private was because I wasn't actually that happy with it. I made it on my blog tashcakes.com 2 years ago now, I think it was 2 years ago. And at the time I really enjoyed it. But the more I looked at the recipe and the more I thought back about it, the more I thought I can do better. Since making the lemon and blueberry crumb cake more recently, I thought yes, I can definitely make it better, especially the crumb top. Namely, make more of the crumb top. And that I should also tweak the flour quantities and the baking time too. Because what I really liked about the lemon cake was it was really damp and moist on the inside, almost like a pudding. It had a nice crunchy top. And then I thought about remaking the pumpkin pie crumb version of it, and I was thinking, okay, if I tweak the flour quantities to make it more cakey and less puddingy, I'm probably going to have to bake it for longer. However, if I bake it for longer at the original temperature of 180 degrees C, the top is going to burn. So then I had to think about what temperature I need to bake it at and how long for the new time. You know, baking's a whole process. But I am finally ready to relaunch the recipe today, my new improved pumpkin pie crumb cake recipe, just in time for spooky season 2. And even better, it's a nice and easy recipe. So let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First, let's preheat the oven to 160 degrees C. I've also prepared an 8 by 8 inch square pan, and I've cut 2 strips of baking paper and I've stuck it down with a little vegetable oil. And now we're going to make the crumb topping first. Here I have 80 grams of unsalted butter, which I've softened at room temperature, 130 grams of plain flour, 50 grams of caster sugar, 50 grams of light muscovado sugar or light soft brown sugar, little pinch of cinnamon, little pinch of nutmeg, a little pinch of ground ginger, and a pinch of salt too. And now I'm going to go in with my hands and rub until we have a soft dough. And this is it. This is our soft, crummy, crumbly dough. Now let's make the cake part. I've got 115 grams of softened unsalted butter. I don't know why I went so squeaky just then. I have 175 grams of caster sugar. And I'm going to cream these together until they're light and fluffy. Now I'm going to add 2 eggs, 200 grams of pumpkin puree, this is from a can, and we're going to whiz these together too. Don't worry, it looks a bit sauce, but it will come together. Now I'm going to add 225 grams of self-raising flour, and I'm going to add half a teaspoonful of ground cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and a quarter teaspoonful of ground ginger. Finally, a little pinch of salt, and we're going to whisk this until well combined. And we're going to stop just here. We don't want to overbeat it. If we overbeat it, we're going to activate the gluten a little bit too much and it will be tough. Now let's bring this over here. We've got the tin, and we're going to scoop this cake batter straight in. Then what I like to do is, to minimise noise, put a towel onto that, and I'm going to give it a good few taps on the counter. That will get rid of the air bubbles and help level out the cake. Nicely done. And now we're going to crumble over the crumb topping. So I've got this here. I'm literally just going to take chunks of it and just randomly splodge it on. Well, not randomly, we want it to evenly cover it. But you can get some nice big chunks in there, some smaller chunks, you know, we want some variety, we want some crunch. And now for our final act before we bake it, we're just going to lightly press it down. Don't smush it down because we want those crunchy, uneven bits, but just to make sure that these are all actually connected to the cake. And now we're going to bake this for about 50 minutes. We're going to check it at 45. Probably needs 50 because it's a cooler oven than usual. Might even need up to an hour, but keep an eye on it after 45 minutes because remember you don't want the top to burn. So I'll see you then. So I actually baked this for 55 minutes, and another test you can do to see if the cake is done is to stick a skewer, or in this case a toothpick, round about the centre. So I'm going to choose here where there's already a crack. Pull it out, and if no wet stuff comes up and it's nice and dry inside, we are done. So we're going to let this cool completely now. You know what, it's still a little warm, but it is cool enough to cut, so I'm going to do it now. Also it's raining and I kind of want warm cake. Nice, it came out relatively cleanly. And now we're going to do the bit that I'm the worst at, trying to cut it evenly. I'm going to attempt to cut it into 9. In fact, I've got some guidance lines on my camera. I'm going to attempt to use those to help me, sort of. Is that it? Is that the other one? That kind of works. Alright, let's go for it. Let's take a look inside. Oh, that looks stunning. That's exactly what I want. Well, I'm so excited I can't even speak. That's exactly what we want and what I want. Well, it's what I want anyway. Let's eat some. Check out that crunchy top and the fluffy cake inside. I am super happy with that. That is exactly what I envisioned. Right, let's take a slow-mo cut. Now don't come at me. I already took a bite. I know I usually have a little bit of a preamble and then I have a bite to show you my genuine real-time reaction, but when I was slicing into it just now, I could not resist it. The spices, oh my gosh, that buttery spicy smell. Just smelling it now is making my mouth water. Anyway, I'm really happy with how fluffy that inside is. Proper moist fluffy cake. And then, got the crunchy crust. I suppose I have to take another bite for the camera. I know, what a shame. Cheers. That's quite big. Oh well. Cool, talk about biting off more than you can chew. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. This is an absolute winner. That soft fluffy cake, that buttery crunchy crust, so good. And it's not an overly sweet cake either. This is a really nice tea cake. So there you go. Easy, perfect pumpkin pie crumb cake. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too. I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. You're still here! Sorry got no bloopers or afterward today, just eating more cake.